The holographic fire crackles and pops, an illusion of warmth in the cool night. 5 teens sit around it, sharing stories over the fake flames. Not just any stories, of course. Ghost stories. Haunting tales of people in times long past. Horror stories of unsolved murders and unexplainable accidents. The first story is being told by a girl with choppy green hair, her hands clad in fingerless gloves and clasped together. Shadows flicker over her face, and the light glints off the metal in her skin. The story goes like this. There is a man in the station waiting for the hyper train. He is quiet, and he sits alone, with only a single bag sat beside him. The bag is a small leather satchel with a latch on the front. He stares blankly ahead, eyes open but unfocused, looking but not seeing. He does not react when other passengers go by, when curious animals sniff at his feet, or when the station attendants make their announcements. He just sits, and he waits. Sometimes, people wait with him. Not truly with him, of course. They don't know the man and they don't interact with him. But they are curious, as people tend to be, so they sit. They sit on benches to either side of the man or across the station, but never on the same bench. Never beside him. They wait, and they watch. They wait for the man to move, to grab his bag and finally get on a train. But he never does. They wait for him to get up and check the maps on the walls, to buy a ticket or to ask the attendants for times. But he never does. They wait for him to blink. They wait for him to breathe. He never does. But one day, he glitches. His form flickers, shakes, shatters. The people in the station gasp in horror and surprise, but not a sound comes from the man as the little pixels that were once him float away. And then, in an instant, he reforms. He's different now. He still has that vacant, glazed-over stare. He still looks ahead with no acknowledgement of anything around him. But now, there is blood on the leather satchel beside him, bright and fresh. Now his chest is caved in, broken bits of ribs standing out starkly against the shredded flesh. His lungs and heart are crushed, mangled beyond repair, and torn from impact with the sharp edges of broken bones. But the heart still tries in vain to beat. It's grotesque. It's mesmerizing. He shows no sign of pain, this man. The people in the station can't help but watch him still, horrified by the awful condition of his body, but still morbidly curious. And finally, they are rewarded for their patience. He stands and he picks up his satchel. His eyes are still unfocused, utterly lifeless as he checks the clock. 2:15. There is no 2:15 train, but this man seems to think so, as he walks towards the edge and stands there, waiting patiently. There is no sound, but suddenly a light appears from down the tunnel. An utterly silent hypertrain, not even the hum of the electric tracks. It comes speeding down the line, and then, without warning, the man falls. It's as if someone pushed him. He falls forward and lands in the tracks, and the train immediately tries to stop. The onlookers can tell, because at that time it makes its one and only sound. A horrific screeching, like the sounding of nails on a chalkboard, and a blood-curdling scream. It's the sound of the conductor pulling back on the brakes with all their might, the engine struggling to stop in time, but it's clear to anyone watching that it won't make it. And the man is still on the tracks. It all happens in an instant. The man gets to his feet, eyes still empty and unblinking. The headlight of the oncoming train glints off his eyes, and then impact. His body is broken, tossed to the side. The train slows to a stop, but not soon enough. There are screams from the onlookers, and several are ready to contact 911, but then they stop, because the train flickers and disappears. The man flickers and fizzles out like an old television station. Seconds pass. Minutes. The man comes back into focus on the bench. Satchel beside him, bloodstains nowhere in sight. His chest is whole again. He looks almost alive. Except for those cold, dead eyes.